守られてばかりじゃ強くなれないから。
Hello, Shinobi Striker followers. All good? My name is Jay Lucas, and today I will be giving you a character breakdown on the Byakugan Princess Hinata Hyuga. Today I will be discussing about her moves and her game plan. Hinata is a very supportive character at which she excels at helping the team play on the offensive while still having a few of her own defensive techniques with great range and buffs to the team. Her space control isn't the best at getting the opponent off her, but she makes up for this with a Trigrams Air Palm. Now, a Trigrams Air Palm is a range jutsu that gives the enemy a debuff by disabling their jutsu for a period of time. Additionally, it gives the player a quicker time to activate another jutsu. Now, why is this useful? It gives the healers a good buff because when they're often attacked, they can't really activate their jutsu after they used it the first time. Most of the time, their jutsus have like at least a 10-second, 14-second cooldown compared to like other fighters, which is really a downside to a healer role. Atrigram's Air Palm is also a really good jutsu as for playing the range. Although it can be sidestepped, it makes up for stifling your opponent's approach, meaning that when they try to attack you, they won't be able to hit you. And of course, you always got those one players that just like to use their jutsu on you, especially just like range types, defense types with the snake thrust. It's really annoying to deal with, so you always have to keep that in mind when you're playing this character. Always try to zone your character out when playing Hinata because she's not that good as for defending against like range types and defense types. When she gets closer to like a range type, it will be good in her favor, but they can always just kunai spam her out of it, meaning that she won't be able to keep her offense going as far as keeping the opponent at bay. So you always have to keep that in mind when you're playing this character. Using this in a sneaky way can also throw your opponent off into making a escape, thus causing your team to go in for the kill until the effect wears off. It's really good if you try to attack them first using just like a regular attack, and then if they try to substitute, just air palm them. That way they won't be able to use their jutsu. And of course, if you do it before, they won't be able to use their jutsu during that time, but just to make sure that they don't escape. Plus, when you take away someone's jutsu from them and their substitution, they can't really do anything, meaning that they only have to rely on blocking. And of course, if you have a good read, healers can break guards, which is very good on your favor. That's why I always think that she's pretty good at her offensive techniques, but she lacks in good defensive techniques. So that's always something that I've always took in mind when I used to play this character. So let's also talk about Hinata's other jutsu, which is a very good jutsu to me. Many people don't think it's good, but honestly, I think it's how you view it as far as a team-based character. Because Hinata's very team-based. She's not really good for like 1v1s. She is good for 1v1s, but it depends on what type of role you're playing, like I said earlier. So let's talk about the Byakugan. It is a long distance jutsu for X-ray vision, giving the location of all targets across the map. It's pretty much the least used jutsu in a game. And people usually think that, oh, it's usually trash, but it's not really the case. Because it has good perks and it brings something to the table. Let's just say that. So the Byakugan gives a team the attack buff, which allows them to go on the offensive, thus giving them a recovery boost and also being able to see the opponent's secret technique gauges and their percentages. So why is this good? It may seem self-explanatory, but many people don't really pay attention to this when it said it in the description because the way how they explained it in the jutsu description is very vague and many people just don't understand how it works. So having this, how am I explain it? When using this when you're playing with a team, it's better when you're playing on a team that actually has communication. So that way, when you tell them to use a jutsu, always make sure that they get away from it. Especially when you're playing Ninja World Hero, because you always have like Minatos who will use their ultimates and just pretty much one shot you, or that would pretty much one shot you. So compared to the Sharingan, many people think that, oh, it's just trash. It doesn't give you an extra sub, even though it's a dojutsu ability. It doesn't give you the perks that Sharingan has when it gives you an extra sub. That's not the case when it comes to using the Byakugan, as it brings more to the table compared to the Sharingan. The Sharingan only gives you one substitution, just an extra substitution. If you want to play on the offensive side, that will be good in your favor because as an attack type you have quick substitutions. It's really good when you use that character, that play style when you play. So when using the Byakugan, it gives you a recovery boost, like I said earlier. So with the newest buff, with these ceiling tags, sorry, not the ceiling tags, but the healing tags, it gives Hinata a big buff when you can just throw it in the air instead of just laying it on the ground. So when using this jutsu in tandem with the healing tag, it's pretty good, and which makes up for her healing techniques. So it will go from 0 to 75% of your health when you use the Byakugan, and the healing tag when you're with your teammates. So this is really good when you're playing a support role when your teammates are like low on health. Of course, they won't heal like all the way, but it will heal like a decent amount to where they will not die at all, which is really good in your favor. So let's actually talk about her combos. So her combos are pretty decent, I must say at the least. Her air combos are pretty good when your secret techniques is at 100%. Comboing in the air into the ultimate will give a guaranteed hit even if they have a substitution. This will give the opponent a reset in their secret technique gauges, which is very beneficial in your end when you're playing against certain characters that you'll know that will one-shot you or just mostly just take you out the game just for a long period of time. So it's useful against Gaara, pretty much anybody that would have like a long how much span. It will help out with the respawn times. So as far as her ultimate, I would say it's good on paper, but it's not that good as far as when you're playing with a random. Well, if you're playing with randoms that are pretty much bloodthirsty, so you always want to do it when you're in a 1v1 situation. That way you can focus on that target, because the reason why it's good but not as good is because that when you're doing the combo into the ultimate, if your opponent, well, not your opponent, if your teammate hits the opponent that you're hitting, it will cancel out the jutsu entirely, meaning that you'll waste your ultimate and you won't get it back until you get it back again. Now, luckily, this is the case where a Trigram's not palm rotation, but gentle step twin lion fist gets a quick reset time. So that means you could just pop it each and every time. I was saying like at least 3 minutes, which is very good for a jutsu that would take away other people's secret ultimates. So her combos with the air palm is pretty good. So it will gain a free air palm when you do a air combo. Even if they substitute, it will be more in your favor if they do. She does have a few weaknesses when playing alone. She's more at a disadvantage when you play against other characters, because most likely she has a small hitbox as a healer. All healers have small hitboxes, which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in this game, but hey, I had to deal with it when I'm playing with this role. So when you're alone, it's best to know what you're doing, because she has decent survivability, but she won't hold off for long when it comes to like multiple characters. such as Misaki, like I said earlier, pretty much those characters. So overall, with her great buffs to her support Jitsu, great combos, she's most definitely stronger in this season, and she's most definitely not to be slept on anymore. Hinata is basically recommended for players who like a strategic game plan with great fundamentals. For her rating, I'll mostly put her at B+. It's just that she could be a whole lot better, but she's pretty good when it comes to playing a team. And with Ninja World Hero going on, I recommend that people use this character. She's very useful for assets. Thank you guys so much for watching. Love you guys, and I hope to see you guys next time.